Can you hear me speak? Can you hear our voice? Was it really worth it? We didn't have a choice. This is our story. The purpose of this video is to comfort those that dream to achieve, succeed, and inspire the youth in the generation. I was born in Cairns. Where is Cairns? Cairns is located in the far north of Queensland, Australia, and I love my hometown. It has amazing shops, city, relaxing destinations, and many more. My name is Taylor Dubbins, and I am a local Indigenous woman that comes from a big family. Growing up, I had an amazing childhood. I went to Parramatta State School and graduated at Cairns State High School in 2015. My family is my biggest support, and what I love to do with them is take a family trip, playing games and having lunch. Look at us. In my own time, I love outdoor activities such as running and going for walks. I even played soccer for the Edge Hill Tigers. Why did I apply for Dreaming Big 2019? One day, I get a phone call from Susan, who worked for an organisation called DATSIP, asking if I was interested in a position for a 2-week course. During the 2-week course, I have met wonderful people and grew closer to them each day. We all come from different backgrounds, but had great sets of skills about our passion. One day at National Job Link, we went for a walk and made a video about a theme we are passionate about. Some have chosen dance, music, art, and photography. A few days after, our supervisor Jules and the team selected a scene from a movie called Pulp Fiction. I played a character named Jules, with Dakota Collins, who played as Vincent. And I was so excited to do the scene. After the 2-week course, we each had an interview for 9 traineeship positions at National Job Link. A week later, I got news to say that I made it into the traineeship, and I was so excited to start a new journey at National Job Link. Our first big event was to plan a Bush Tucker dinner at the Paramore Cabaret Theatre with our mentor, Brooke Archer Evans. This event has been planned for 5 months, and we did interviews with 9 local Indigenous heroes to talk about their journeys and success. We have met artists, musicians, actors, and fantastic mentors throughout the journey. Our job was to make table decorations, create brochures, social media marketing, and create our documentary. The biggest accomplishment that I have learned is editing, acting, and event planning for the Bush Tucker dinner. Since the beginning of the journey at National Job Link, I have made new friends, gained knowledge of the film and media, met wonderful people that gave me support and encouraged me to live my dreams every day. During the 6 months of the traineeship, I have been given so many opportunities, such as being part of short films, creating a documentary that captured the journey of 9 local Indigenous people, and handed out awards with Jay Lagaya. It has changed me to become a better person. I have become stronger, wiser, and independent, and I can never be so blessed to have these people by my side. You can't start a new chapter in your life if you keep reading the last one.
Hi Aaron, thanks for meeting us here today.
No worries, it's a pleasure.
I'm just going to start off with a basic introduction.
Yep.
Yeah. So, tell me, who are you and what is your background?
My name is Aaron Farso. I'm a film and television practitioner. Introduced into the industry, came in as an actor, but I've since then developed myself as a producer, director, writer. Been in the game now for the last 15 years or so. I'm of Torres Strait Island and Tongan heritage. My descendancy derives from Sabo Island. I'm of the Samoan Kadal clan of Sabo Island. My winds are Sager and Zaigub, which is the southeasterly and south wind. So that's me. My family's everything. I think family is the fabric and makeup of my own identity. It I guess gives me the cultural identity from both my Torres Strait and Tongan heritage, and it's always family first. For me, that's your that's for us as Torres Strait Islanders, Aboriginal Torres Strait Islander people. Family is everything. It connects us to our forefathers and our ancestral kinship and our connections to land, sea, and the sky.
Growing up, who was your biggest inspiration?
Oh, definitely my grandmother and my mum, because to raise three boys. I'm the eldest of three boys, so that's a feat in itself. And but I think all us three brothers were all successful in our own right, and I think it's a testament to two women who've single-handedly raised three men, and that was just due to because my father and grandfather passed away when we were quite young. So yeah.
What did you want to be when you, growing up? What did you aspire to be?
I wanted to be a star, a superstar. No. What did I want to aspire to be? I guess initially, for me, it was, growing up, I grew up playing football, playing rugby league. So that was the focus to, try and niche out or cut out a rugby league career for myself. But I remember writing in year 12. We had this retreat camp, and you had to have the exercise was you had to write a letter to yourself for that you could open up in 25 years' time. So I did that, but at the time, I just wrote down that I knew that I was going to be on film or TV, but I actually didn't know what I was going to do. So, but the whole thing was I thought that, I'd be a footy star being watched by, many people on TV.
What is the biggest challenge that you faced during your time in Sydney?
I think one of the greatest challenges were, I think, finding people who I could trust, and also, and who they were, and identifying those types of people, because it's, Sydney's a, different environment. You're away from family, you're away from, your own kind of connections. and your own support networks. When I decided to pursue this career, there wasn't much thought process or strategic thought process that went into it. I knew that I wanted to do this and I just pursued it. Then by the time I was in Sydney and about probably 3 months into it, I realized I had no money. I was like, dude, you just left like an 80K job back up in the streets with no acting prospects. I was like, ooh, I think I might have rushed this decision. But yeah, those types. I mean, but they're the sacrifices you've got to, you got to be in it to win it. And I guess for me, I'm not afraid of failure. I think through failure, or or stumbling or falling down, I think that's where you learn your greatest lessons. And that's where, I guess through those challenges, you're going to find out what you're really made of. The first opportunity that was the initiator, I guess, was a series called Remote Area Nurse. I'd been living back up in the Torres Straits, working as a health worker during the early 2000s. And 2004, SBS were producing a series called Remote Area Nurse, set up and filmed in the Torres Straits. And Chapman Pictures were producing the actual program. Helen Pankos and Penny Chapman were the producers. So they were casting Torres Strait Islanders, because obviously it was set in the Torres Strait, and they were looking to put together the main family. And the thing that really attracted me was they were looking for people with no acting experience. So I said, hell, okay. I through a sickie, borrowed a dinghy, because at the time I was living in Saisia on the mainland, and went across and did the audition. And the rest is history, I guess. Our culture's everything. It kind of stems back to, that of, that comes directly from my family. But culture is that is embedded in family, but that also is the foundation of my identity. So without culture, I guess I'd just be an everyday Joe Blow. But what culture does, it gives me identity, it gives me connection, again, to many thousands of years of stories, language, and culture and song. Values, I think, honesty, integrity. When you, I think they stem from just my upbringing, from, through the teachings of, both my grandmother and mother. And I think, you've got to be able to lead your life with integrity at all times. You're doing the right thing when no one else is around or even watching you.
Thanks for your time. We really appreciate your time today.
No worries. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure. Awesome.
Honeybee.
Early honeybee. We used to go to the shopping centre from our place. The shopping centre's only about 100 metres across the road. And Shirley said, Dad, you can hold the dog, the lead. And I started playing the games with it, yeah. And I'm walking along with make-believe dog in the lead, on the lead. So you don't have to hold him now, him run away.
This is the only child out of all our children that got their dad to play dolls with them.
Yes.
Only one of our children, he actually sat down and played dolls with her. She'd tell him what to do, and he would do it. Anything she asked, he would do it. This is that bond that's between Honeybee and Dad from day one.
You got ideas, you push it, you go for it.
You aim for the stars, my baby. Aim for the stars. There's nothing out there that you can't do.
I was born on the 15th of March in the year 2000 at Cairns Base Hospital. I am a proud Jabberwocky lady, also with the connection of the Juru tribe from Mission Beach and the Jitterbell tribe from the Tableland. I had an amazing childhood growing up. Family on the Sunshine Coast. We moved from Kuranda to Cairns when I was about 6 months, and then to Sunshine Coast before I turned 1. We travelled around a lot with my brother's band, show after show, which is where I get my music influence from. They were my biggest inspiration.
Took her up to Australia Zoo. Shirley was 18 months old. We were just about to head out because her nan was feeling a bit sick. So we pulled up our seat at the eatery. Shirley walked away from us for a little while and just not very far from us. It was busy, it was lunch hour, and one of the staff were rushing around and knocked her over onto the cement. She just fitted and passed out, and her eyes come open and turning up, and we took off in the ambulance, myself and Shirley, and my Honeybee was just so weak. Doctors gave her the all clear. Just a little prayer that day. Thank you, Lord. First big major incident. From that, the only real thing, her balance wasn't that well. And this is why I used to take her to the park. She loved her dad. One day she tried to chase after her dad. This was not too long after. You were going to the bank in Koroi, and she chased after you. An angel was there. Because before she got to her dad, there was a driveway between the bank and where she had to come from. And a car came speeding out. Even though my baby was running, ready to go step onto that driveway, she suddenly stopped. There was nothing I could do. I was too far away to stop. I was running after him. I thought, from a baby was running full bore to catch up to Dad, and then just stopped. The car whizzed by, and I breathed the biggest sigh.
The story is about how I came back. You can never truly know me until you know this chapter of my life. Wrong shoes, bad trip, got lost in the wrong dream. Certain poisons, different voices, my curiosity led me here. Trauma that led me to uncertainty. And confusion. Trauma that led me to an unnecessary high, which brought me to my final breath and the end of my life. But I was given a second chance to grow, to dream, to inspire. And so I had no choice but to use my pain as power, my tears as strength, and become that little spark of hope for someone that is battling the same fight as me. someone who has nothing but their dreams. And like Tupac says, for every dark night, there is a brighter day, and the sun always rises.
My name is Henrietta Mary. My Yidinji name is Bukau. I am a Gima Walbra Yidinji woman from the land we stand on today, which is my grandfather's country. Being a Yidinji woman, it gives me my connection to this country, and which is Gimoy, that we know as Gimoy. And being an Indigenous woman and being a Gima Walbra Yidinji woman gives me a lot of the strength, and also it gives me the strong sense of identity and who I am as someone who comes from that cultural background, because it's really something that I grew up with, knowing who I am and also knowing the ancestry of my mother's people, the Kunganji people, and my grandmother's people when they were taken away as being from Kukuyalanji, Kukuyimadi groups. I grew up at Yarrabah, which is an Aboriginal community just southeast of here. That's where my parents were born. My grandparents weren't born there, they came in later. It was, you know, having this surrounding of the beaches and the hill slopes and the mud flaps. I grew up in this kind of environment. No road to Yarrabah at the time, and being a very isolated community, really what gave me the strength of being who I am, and learned a lot about who I was, but also a lot about the land and surviving on the land. And so my childhood was just, it was great. Being in a community where everyone knew each other and we were all part of a big family, it was just so exciting because everyone knew each other. You were chastised by just about everyone in the community if you did something wrong. So everyone loved you, everyone either told you off, and it was nothing back then because all the parents knew that their child was safe. The other good thing about growing up, there was having all your friends around. They were right there, and we would go swimming to the water holes. You know, we'd walk for miles. And that wasn't an issue. And we would pick the berries and the fruit that were on at the time, or we would go hunting. I remember we made this trap which my father taught us how to make, and we went and go and put it up in the bush in the hills and then go back the next morning to see if we'd caught anything. And that's the time when we were catching bandicoots, and we would eat bandicoots. So we were lucky if we had one and then brought it down. My mother hated the bandicoot, but my father would cook it and would strip it, and my mum would cook it, and that was a way of life for us. And then going fishing and crabbing and also getting the shellfish from the mud flaps and the mangroves were another part of my life. So I had a very rich upbringing, and a very rich upbringing of my culture and who I am, and knowing what was medicine, knowing what was food. And that to me was so, it's unforgettable. You just cannot forget that kind of life, and that's why today I still hold that very strong sense of who I am as a Gimo Yidinji person.
My purpose of this video is to tell my story and share my journey to inspire the younger generations to fulfill their dreams, to become who they want to be, and to do what they are most passionate about. My name is Joanne Wright, a proud Jabgai Kugata woman, born and raised in Cairns. I have family connections throughout Queensland, Northern Territory and South Australia, which has given me the opportunity to travel back and forth, observing the land where my connection grows stronger and stronger each time. I am a strong believer that everyone deserves a chance at trying something new and to thrive for what they're really passionate about to make their dreams come true. I come from a beautiful place in the far north of Queensland called Cairns, where the green mountains surround you, where the sea connects to the reef, the rivers and the rainforest. I come from a big family where we learnt about Christianity and to respect not only our elders but those who respect us as well. I come from a culture that has been around for thousands of years, a culture that I am proud of, a culture that is the oldest living culture on this planet. Finding out about the Dreaming Big program with National JobLink was exciting, as I developed a passion for photography and video montage throughout my teenage years and early adult years. The program started off with a 2-week voluntary course, which involved employment skills training and an introduction to film and media. Throughout the 2 weeks, we created vision poetry, a short film, and did activities to develop our communication and teamwork skills. Everybody became close, and new friendships started to grow. I couldn't have asked for a better group of amazing people to start my new journey with. Once the 2-week course was over, I was interviewed again for one of the 9 positions for the traineeship. I was nervous going into the interview, but became excited upon sitting down and talking with 2 amazing ladies who encouraged me to do the best I can throughout the course. A week later, I was called and informed that I was successful for one of the positions. My life pretty much started changing right there and then. I was moving forward. During the first stages of employment, myself and my new colleagues had to adjust to working in a new environment. We faced many challenges as a team, but worked hard to overcome any barriers that got in our way. We were taken out to a place called Northern Outlook, an adventure-based learning centre, to do some activities that involved teamwork and trust. It was a perfect time to get to know the rest of the National JobLink staff and grow stronger within the Dreaming Big team. As the weeks started to go by, we were introduced to more and more people, listening to their stories and asked them questions about their struggles and successes. For every person we met was our opportunity to ask if they would like to be a part of our major project, Dreaming Big. Our main task for our project was to interview and film each person, capturing their stories and putting together a documentary. In between filming and editing, we as a team was also planning our big event, a charity Bush Tucker dinner night and film premiere, which was held during NAIDOC Week 2019. Many other projects were involved with the traineeship. I was able to be a part of the BLA Careers Expo, online masterclasses, learned how to fly a drone, artwork such as rock painting and creating posters. I also got the chance to speak on one of the local Indigenous radio stations, Bamapipara Media. There were so many inspiring moments throughout the traineeship. Some of the main highlights for me was meeting local Indigenous people, listening to their journey, hearing how they overcame their struggles and how they fought to be where they are today. Another is working hard to plan and put together our charity Bush Tucker dinner and film premiere night, and then watching the night of the event unfold and seeing how all of our hard work had paid off throughout the evening, and hearing positive feedback from the public who attended the night. The last highlight for me would be meeting the actor Jay Lagaya. He came into National Job League to share his journey with us. His story was filled with lots of laughs and inspiration. I would definitely recommend others to apply for the Dreaming Big program in the future. Being part of an amazing team and working for an amazing company has made me grow into a better person. It has made me appreciate the smaller things in life. It has made me stronger, wiser and grateful. I am grateful to National Job Link for giving me this opportunity. My new journey will begin soon. I will strive for what I want. I will achieve my goals to better my future. There will be no looking back, as I will keep moving forward and continue to do the best I can in hopes to become someone younger people can look up to.
Veni, Vidi, Vici. I came, I saw, I conquered. I'm a Eora Yuan man, okay? Wagadugum from my mother, okay, from Torres Strait. Family means so much to me, okay? I mean, like all people, you know, your family is fundamental. It's very, very important to your development and just being there, you know, in your general day-to-day life. We've had a lot of inspirational people around me my whole life, which I'm very, very thankful for. So my mum and my dad, obviously, I think like everyone, that's always your biggest heroes. So definitely were mine as well. Culture's everything, you know. Culture's identity, culture's who we are, and culture's where we're going. So, I mean, if there's an old saying, you know, those without culture are lost, and I truly believe that. I mean, we as Indigenous people, I mean, that's who we are. I mean, we were always made to believe that we were something different. At the end of the day, as a young Aboriginal Torres Strait Islander man, I'll always stand up and make sure that I'm a voice. Even if I'm talking alone, mate, I'll always be a voice for my people. So we're a community development organisation. Our primary focus is around opportunity, but in particular around things like education, economics, and empowerment for Indigenous people. So we've existed since about 2007, and yeah, we've been going strong ever since. I am the founder, and I am also the chairman, executive chair at the moment as well. My role basically is to, if I can put it in terms of ship, my role is basically to help steer the ship alongside the CEO. I'm just there to make sure that the course and the direction of the organisation adheres to our values, adheres to our core philosophical beliefs, and adheres to our, our ideological disposition. So we move forward in that position now, and that's my primary role. So I just make sure that we're doing and keeping to our core values. We work across 3 continents at the moment, and be able to share who we are, share our culture, share our histories, share our experiences, and share our share some of our ideas across the world. I'd love to be able to do that, and vice versa, bring a lot more of those ideas back home here to us as well. A lot of my cohort, a lot of my friends, some of them weren't making the best decisions in life. We sort of stood up from there and wanted to make a better changes for ourselves initially, and then that change sort of led on to other people, and then that led on to other people, and that led on to other people, and that led on to other people, and then next thing you know, we got a community behind us. So also maybe wasn't around some of the best things either. And that track of life took some of my friends to other places. Whether it's unfortunately you got some who were up in jail, or some who crawling at the bottom of a bottle, or drugs. Drugs has just hammered a lot of my friends, and it's very, very sad. But yeah, it would have been very, very easy to fall into that life. I'll say I never wanted that. I see it as we've got enough challenges as Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. We don't need more. Okay, and these are the things we should be fighting against. Our ancestors were warriors, mate. We weren't gangsters or anything else. Just don't remember who we are and where we're going. It's been a lot of hurdles over the years, a lot of hurdles. Honestly, the biggest success I'd say is being here still today. That's probably our biggest success. It would have been so easy to let this idea, the movement, just this, philosophy die. Very hard time in my life. I was sleeping in a ring. I was sleeping in the boxing ring. I was sleeping out of the gym, which wasn't the best. It was, but it is what it is. If you believe in something, if you truly believe in something, okay, there's nothing you won't do to make sure that you can make that happen. You've got to invest your time. You've got to invest your energy. You have to invest yourself into that belief. And if you truly believe in it, then you want it bad enough, then you'll get what you want. And sure enough, we're here, 12, 13 years later, is now, whatever it is now, and yeah, going stronger than ever, and working across 3 continents, so it's been good. Tell myself some winning lottery number tickets, mate, that's what I'd do. I don't know, I just let me know that it will be a lot harder than what you think it's going to be. It's going to be very, very hard. It's every day is not going to be a sunny day. That you're going to really have to fight, and you're really going to have to struggle, and you're going to go through more pain than you'll ever think you'll experience. And it's going to be a lot worse than what you think. But to know that it's not the end of the road. That there's a brighter tomorrow after that. So keep, not just walking through the storm, mate. You're going to become the storm. I came, I saw, I conquered.
Hello, my name is Shanine Segan-Pitchler. I'm a proud Indigenous woman who's 21 years of age, but I'm also German, Torres Strait Islander, and Austrian, which I'm proud of. My journey began in an isolated area of Gelatin. As a kid, living in a place so isolated was really dull. We had no internet or nearby stores. My household didn't even have a TV. Some would say that we kept to ourselves. Being exposed to a non-healthy atmosphere, I have come to realize that there is a cycle that needs to be broken. Without going into further details, I want to share with you how someone like me can break that negative cycle through determination and the desire to accomplish a better lifestyle for myself and the future generation to come.
Lights, camera, action. It's all a part of the learning process.
In February 2019, I got a call from Department of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Partnerships telling me of a media job at National JobLink and wanted to know if I was interested. I felt overwhelmed with news like this because an opportunity like this in Cairns doesn't come by so often. Of course, I said yes to this offer and went through to the interview. So one thing led to another, then I was one of the chosen 9 out of the 13 participants. I have learned a whole array of things regarding film and production and event management. I also learned deportment, problem solving, and efficient communication skills. Shanine, I'm here on Harmony Day with Shirley and Taylor, and I'm going to ask them some questions. So I'll start with Taylor. What does Harmony Day mean to you?
Harmony Day to me is about everyone from different country, culture comes together.
Film production has taught me how to operate a video camera, formatting a script, how to use professional editing software, how to work efficiently in a team, and planning large-scale events. I am so grateful to be a part of this amazing opportunity, and I feel there should be more like this, to increase the employment in Indigenous people and teach Indigenous youth that they don't have to be mainstream. I enjoyed my time. I learned so many things and came across many different people. One of my dreams is to become a video game designer. I want to create RPG games that not only have a fun, interactive experience, but a very engaging story to it, such as God of War, Red Dead Redemption, Detroit Becomes Human, and Spyro. I've done coding and 3D modeling before, but I'm more interested in the story side of it. I have so many ideas in my head that I feel will make a good game one day. I just need to learn how to put my ideas to paper. I'm most passionate about creating stuff. I don't really necessarily know what I want to create, but I know I do want to, in the future, be a creator. Like, it might be a director or a graphic designer or even a web designer. Well, it's just an opportunity like this barely comes by, and I felt like there's always traineeships for business administrations or apprenticeships to be a cook and such. And when I heard something like this, I was like, oh my gosh, there's actually something for me that I can benefit from for my future. So that's what sparked this interest. My next chapter in my life, hopefully, is to further my experience and skills in the creative industry. But as I mentioned before, an opportunity like that doesn't come often work-wise. But I still look at further studies. Personally, I say that overcoming each challenge in life is worth the struggle. We can learn how to survive and succeed. That's what I would say to others.
My name is Trevor Tim, aka Trendy Trev, Murray from the Curry. What up? Father's side, 1 year Gungalita. That's towards Mornington Island, Doomadgee, all my mob that way. And my mother's side, Darnley Island, Arab, Torres Straits, best of both worlds. And high on life, motivational speaker, life coach, radio announcer, and living life to the fullest. I mean, I played rugby league all my life, and I trialled with Penrith Leagues Club down in Sydney under Phil Gould at the time, and there were about 27 guys trialling for the last 3 spots, but I was unfortunately I didn't make that. But then I went to Sydney AIDT, Aboriginal Dance Theatre, was shaking booty with those guys down there, so that was another career path. And as we cruise through life, we come to crossroads in our life. So do I take up football? Do I take up dancing? Do I become an actor? Do I become a motivational speaker? I mean, we all got choices in life, and choices take us where we are today. And I love where I am today. My father, him and I are tight in regard to a hard-working man, Aboriginal man, First Nation man, and bubbling, cheerful man, and a go-getter. So I get that from him. So he's my mentor, you could say. And then I get inspired to live my life deadly for my 4 pickaninnies and my beautiful wife. Yeah. No, not a large family. 3 sisters, myself, and beautiful mum and dad. Small family, but full of love. Father is the eldest of 11 siblings, a big family on that side. And my beautiful mother with me in spirit. Her sister, I only got 1 sister, with us in spirit as well. So a small family on mum's side, but a big array of family thereafter, of her first cousins and what have you, yeah.
So what was your childhood like?
Getting jiggy with it, love life. Life was good, beautiful, lovely upbringing. Mum and dad, family, positivity, strong foundations, and I'm still living that life today.
So, growing up, what were some of your values, and did you carry that on throughout life?
Yes. Well, like the simple teachings in life, love one another, respect other people, respect that man in the mirror, the woman in the mirror, love yourself, positive, have a go, never ever give up, and enjoy the journey of life.
What are you passionate about?
L-I-F-E, life, YOLO, as them young ones say. You only live once, but my attitude, if you do it right, once is enough. Yes, Success with Attitude, motivational speaking company. Me and my associate, my business partner, Bram Collins. Big shout out, Bram. What up? Bram Collins, BC, Cowboy, aka Cowboy. Now, Bram and I met through the tourist industry back in 1999. And look, we just got a desire to inspire. And we both had the same attitude about loving life and loving people, and a sober type of attitude. And at that time, Australia had one of the highest youth suicide in the world. And we thought, what's up with that? Life is beautiful. So Success with Attitude was born. And so we've been traveling the country for the last 20 odd years, motivating and inspiring people, especially young ones, especially mob, what up? Live life to the fullest. So Success with Attitude is a vehicle that we use. When you come to those crossroads, and you are on that journey of your life, and you come to a brick wall or red tape or hurdle, you think, what am I supposed to be doing here? Is this right? And it's just not what happens to you in life, is how you respond to it, But on the other side of fear is freedom. So you just got to push through those barriers and stay focused on your journey and your destination, but enjoy that journey of life. So, I had some frustrations in life, but can I say that when you get frustrated, when frustration kicks in, take it the 3 letters, F-U-N, and turn it into fun. We need to love and respect our elders. We're losing that foundation of our upbringing. Culture has got to be in your life. I always say that we as black people, we are wealthy just being black. We just got to get proactive, We can live in both worlds as a black person, culture, but then living in a white man world regarding business and education and opportunities, And you can be strong in both camps, so to speak, And you being the best you that you can be will get you to success. But you've got to have culture within you, because there's your foundation. And be the true you. We say don't act, that's not your walk, Be the best you that you can be, you know what I mean? Don't be anybody else. I told my younger self, go harder, and like we said, if we can all go back, we would change a few things, So I told myself, go harder and get more focused. And so with that statement, well, I can live that statement now then. I can go harder now, and I can get more focused now. So that's what I tell my younger self. And grow your afro back. No, just a message to all our mob out there, just live life to the fullest, be the best you that you can be, and don't forget you're carrying your ancestors within you.
Hello, my name is William Davies Riley, and I'm a member of the Dreaming Big team. I am the member who thinks creatively and is the problem solver. I enjoy doing artwork and believe that doing something and dedicating myself to it yields wondrous results. This shows through my artworks that I've done, and now to show the art that I have created during the time I've been in Dreaming Big. As you can see, I'm using a very rough avatar during this segment. Avatars are used as means for artists and other creative people to express themselves online. My artworks are very hard to do on my phone, but the results are amazing when finishing them. However, at the end of it all, it becomes very tiring, so even drawing these little tiny avatars will only be for this part of the video. Now, back to the journey. During the beginning of the trial period for joining the team, I had to wake up at 5 in the morning and take a 3-hour trip from Herberton all the way down to Cairns every day. This was extremely tiring, but my belief kept me going in and out, and my efforts paid off. I was ecstatic to become part of the team. I then learned how to edit, film, and write scripts. During this time, we eventually started filming corporate videos and then worked at the local Careers Expo. During the whole experience, I learned teamwork and how to be independent. All of this then built up to our debate night, where we organised a massive charity night at the Cairns Dinner Theatre. The Dreaming Big experience is a unique and amazing period of time where I learned many valuable lessons and made many friends. I learned to express myself creatively and artistically, learning how to write interesting scripts for short films. Sadly, the time I have on the team is coming to a close. But, however, my journey is only beginning, and I hope to make many more friends and learn things.
Is Brooke Archer Evans. I'm a Cairns local through and through, which is quite rare to find these days. And I've done dancing and performing my entire life. Being Cairns born, my cultural background is my dad is New Zealand, so he's an English settled New Zealander, and my mum is also from Australia here, but she's English settled Australia, and I also have Swiss, Jamaican and Aboriginal in me. Passionate. I'm passionate about a couple of things actually. So number one being my family. I have a little 2-year-old son, so he's my number one passion. Drives me crazy, but I absolutely love him. Number two would be, I guess, what I've done my whole life is dancing and performing. I love it. That's kind of who I am, and it's part of my blood. That's all I've ever done really, and performing and hospitality. So obviously, interacting with guests and just, making sure that they have a really good time as well. I find that very important to myself. I have been dancing for a number of years. I'm not going to tell you how many, but ever since I can remember, I've just danced. I remember being quite little and being in the shopping centre and hearing the music in the shops, and I would just dance around. My mum would get really angry at me because I would just dance away in front of her, and she'd get quite embarrassed. That's what I would do. Growing up through dancing and everything like that, you research different avenues and different aspects of performing, and theatre is one of those. And I knew I was never going to be a ballerina. I'm too short and I'm too stocky, and I love my food to be a ballerina, so that was out of the books. And I'm not a singer, so there goes my singing career. But performing on stage and in theatre, and it kind of encompasses a lot of different aspects that a lot of people can hone in on. If they're not particularly great at one thing or another thing, theatre is a great area and platform that a lot of people can kind of just all come together and be the best that they can be. So yeah, it was one of those things that I kind of was really drawn to, and it just the feeling that you get when you're out on stage performing in a theatre is quite exceptionally extraordinary. So kind of, it's my little addiction, it keeps me going. I would have to say I have two heroes, be my mum and my dad. They are extremely hardworking. I remember mum and dad both having several jobs when we were kids to, take us to dancing and stuff like that. And my mum would help sew costumes, would do my hair, and teach me how to do a lot of, life stuff throughout teaching, through dancing and stuff like that. And even now, owning the theatre, she still comes in and gives me a hand and is always there to help without, wanting anything in return except for a hug and a kiss. So she'd be my hero. When I first got this question, I was going to say afraid of failure. But with failure, you learn from it. So if you're afraid of learning, then you can't really get far in life. So I would have to say my biggest fear would have to be not being present enough for my family, for life, just absorbing memories and anything. So I think that would have to be my biggest fear, is not being present.
So, as a mother and a performer, and you own this business, how do you juggle everything?
Sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's a big hot mess, and I'm very lucky to have such an amazing husband and partner to help me pick up the balls if I drop it one day. But because we've been doing it for such a long time, and dancing and performing is an industry where you have to be very versatile anyway, so it gets better with time, but in saying that, with time you always add another ball to the mix and you have to learn to rejuggle again. So it can be easy some days when you get the hang of it, and some days it's just you want to throw your hands up in the air and say you've had enough and walk away. But you learn from that and then you keep going, and that's what kind of, I guess becomes again another little bit of an addiction, is learning how to improve yourself all the time.
So was there ever a time in your life where you felt like just giving up?
Yes, there was a time where we had just done, and I ended up spending more time with people that I had only just known for 3 weeks than I did with my family. And for me, growing up with such a large family and such an involved family, it really it took me back to my roots, and kind of realised that how important family was and how much I was missing out on being a part of their lives and them being a part of my lives. And and there are times that it gets really, really hard financially, business-wise, trying to create shows constantly, having a 2-year-old and teaching at another dance school outside of here. So yeah, there's been times where you're just like, you know what, I'm going to run away and go on a holiday. But then at the same time, you have to you have your cup of tea, you have a biscuit, and you realise, no, it's okay. Things will get better, and you're just having a bad day. I just think for both Indigenous, whether it be, international Indigenous as well, is just also giving the young kids a better chance, that it's okay that if they don't have experience, that, it's still worth applying for a job. It's still worth making the effort to go and show their face at an interview and proving that they are valued and they are worth of a position, even if they don't have that prior training, because a lot of the times, employers, they just want somebody that's eager to learn. And with our generation, we have to show them that we are, and we can't, sit at home and just watch TV all the time and just kind of slack out. We've got to make a future for ourselves. And so I think just encouraging the younger youth to remember that if we don't do it now, it's never going to happen. So I think just encouraging that they do have value, they do have worth, and that they need to make their own life for them. Oh, tell my younger self, I would have to say, be present again. Just absorb life, learn from it, make mistakes, make the same mistake twice, but if you make it the third time, you're not really paying attention. But just live it, just learn it, enjoy it, have a cry, have a laugh, just embrace everything that life has to give you, because you only get it once, so yeah.
Alright, that's all the questions.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, Brooke.
Thanks very much, guys.
What created our trauma still remains, but here we stand in search for change. Change perception, change their mind. We are more than what the society has defined.
My name is Michael James Azumi. I come from a small, quiet city called Cairns. It's located in the far north of Queensland, where the reef meets and mixes with the tropical rainforests, all along the protected Green Mountains. Cairns is a place where you can meet all sorts of different people. I was born into a large family, where I was taught to listen, improvise, build, respect, and not to judge anyone else. But the one thing I've learned for myself growing up with other values was to see things from a different perspective. I've learned that two people can look at the same thing and see something completely different. In terms of culture, my family never really had one. It's not like we didn't want to, it's just we didn't know much about it. Although I despise having these uncertainties and finding out about my culture is difficult, but I am still looking and learning more every day about my family's history. I was born in the year 2000 and I was raised in Cairns. Although my mother is from the Thursday Island in the Torres Straits, and my father was also born in Cairns, but his family is originally from New Zealand. Before I applied for the Dreaming Big program, I was fresh out of high school with not a single clue what I was going to do with myself. About a month into the new year, and I had no idea what I was going to do. One morning I get a call from Frances from DAPSIP, the Department of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Partnerships. She had asked me to come in for an interview with her. She had told me that it was a traineeship that would be in my interest. When I first arrived, I had this thought in my head that I was going to get an apprenticeship in engineering, which were my first intentions of doing when I finished school, although Frances had something else for me. She presented to me a traineeship in film and production. She had told me that I would rather prefer this than engineering. After I read the information about the course, I thought, what the hell could go wrong? So I applied for the course originally out of curiosity and did a 2-week trial to see if I would enjoy it. When the trial finished, National Job Link only needed 9 trainees, and there were 13 of us at the time. They told us that they would call all of us to let us know who got the job and who didn't. A week went by after we finished the trial and I received a phone call from NJL. They stated that I got the job. When I first began the course, I knew for certain my strengths were drawing, dark artwork, photography, creating masks, creating music, and seeing things from a different perspective. Throughout the course, I was able to put my skills to good use and do things I never thought I would do. I wrote scripts, made short films, helped put together a documentary for National Job Link, was a photographer at press conferences for ABC Radio, set up different events, created and sold different art pieces of mine. Let's just say I exceeded my expectations and it's taken me to places I've never been before. I really enjoyed all of these different positions and work roles. It was really great to get all the different experiences in each role, to learn new skills which I hope that will open more opportunities for me in the future. believe that throughout this whole year has been a blast at National Job Link. Meeting new and interesting people, creating short films with my friends and the documentary as well. Improving my artwork with the actual artists, and I think the one that tops it all is the pleasure of working with the rest of the Dreaming Big film crew. Being able to create something bigger than ourselves, not just for us, but for others that need hope to become something better.
My name is Talisa Denise Gibbia. I'm an Indigenous young woman who grew up at the edge of the tropical rainforest in Cairns, Queensland. My childhood was mostly spent around travelling and living to and from Cairns. From the northern peninsula areas and all the way to the Torres Strait Islands. My winds are Naigai Gubalai from Saibai Island, meaning north wind, and North Giai from Badu Island. My clans are Durbal, Kadal, and Tabu. Growing up, I knew my culture and I wanted to keep it strong by keeping it close to my passion, and so I grew up loving to read, write, and sing with my passion, which was strongly on creative and visual arts. For me, I am happy for where I'm standing today. As an Indigenous Australian, I am proud to represent my own culture and accept my identity and show them through my paintings and future artworks. I live by this motto, and this motto lives and thrives within me. I strive through discipline. This shows that if I am dedicated and motivated enough to walk through any storm, I can achieve my goal. To achieve that goal, I need to be dedicated, and to be dedicated, I need to show that I am worthy. No matter who or what stands in my way, I will figure out a solution. I will solve my own problems and overcome my fears, just to have that passion live and thrive within me. For it is me who needs to dedicate myself towards my dreams, not my family nor my friends. It is me who can achieve that dream. Through discipline, I will thrive without no fear. For the fear is what motivates me to keep going. Therefore, I am dedicated. In 2018, after finishing my 12 years of schooling, I thought I would be continuing my 3 years of cadets training within the Royal Australian Air Force Cadets, by joining the Defence Forces. But instead, I embarked on a special journey and opportunity with 8 other extraordinary youths within the Cairns region. I never would have thought to see myself being a part of the Dreaming Big 2019 program. The opportunity of being a part of such an amazing program gave me the chances of being in a new environment and discovering new skills and knowledge as to how filming is made and what role fits for me. The idea of me being a part of such an amazing film crew was something I would have never thought I would be a part of. It was on one of those usual days where I would call up DATSIP to check on my hours for my learners at PCYC. While speaking to Suzanne, my mother and her were discussing a few words when she came rushing in and told me that Suzanne wanted to exchange a few words with me. Handing the phone over, my mother prepares a pen and paper while I speak to Suzanne outside. She starts to ask me questions such as, what are my skills? And if I have any on media or creative arts. Obviously, I told her my skills were mainly in creative arts, and that my skills in Photoshop were still on point. And just like that, the 2 weeks course went on like a blast. There was a lot going on, but it was just the introduction as to what was laid ahead within the 6 months. All 13 of us knew that there were only 9 spaces in the program, and that none of us knew who would get in, or let alone, we were all nervous. Even I felt nervously excited. After my interview with Desley and Carlin, I felt anxious. I really wanted to know who got in and who didn't. All I knew was that I was the last person that was interviewed out of the 13. After my interview, I sat outside discussing some things and opinions with my mum on if I get in or not. After a week went by, my phone began to ring at 4:30 p.m. I anxiously answered the phone, and it was Desley who was calling from the other end. We discussed and talked about the situations and conditions as to if I did or didn't get in to the program. After her final words before hanging up was that I had made it into the final 9. I was excited that I was jumping for joy, like literally. From that day on, my life changed right around.
Talisa, what are you most passionate about and why?
I'm most passionate about art. And the reason as to why I like it is because I've been doing it since I was little. I've been inspired by my parents and grandparents, and it's in my cultural heritage to like